Vanakkam. Now I am going to say share one of my very good experience in fraud case study, and this you have to watch from the beginning to the end so that you will get lot of information from this fraud case study. This is with reference to subsidy adjustment. Before going to the session, I want to say once again that this video presentation is a knowledge-based video presentation in bank audit. So I request everyone to watch this video from the beginning to the end. So normally it's a subsidy adjustment. So before going to that, you should know the basic terms of subsidy. In subsidy, there are two types of subsidy. One is front-end subsidy. Second one is back-end subsidy. Front-end subsidy means whenever the government gives the subsidy to the bank, the subsidy has to be adjusted to the loan immediately on the date of sanction or immediately on the receipt of subsidy by the bank. So it is called as front-end subsidy because loan is there, subsidy has come, you can net the figure and remaining amount is the loan. And another thing you have to bear in mind that to the extra subsidy, the bank is not supposed to collect interest. Suppose the subsidy is 50,000 rupees, the loan amount is 1 lakh. The bank has to charge interest only to the extent of 50,000 rupees because 1 lakh minus 50,000 because the bank is not going to give any interest to subsidy, as well as the bank should not charge any interest on loan to the extent of 50,000 rupees. This is a subsidy rule. Then front-end subsidy we have discussed, and another thing is back-end subsidy. What is back-end subsidy? Back-end subsidy is the subsidy which the bank has to adjust only at the time of closure of the loan or as per the subsidy sanction letter sent by the government. Normally, subsidy sanction is being given by the government department to the bank in order to help the government beneficiaries, that is in the form of public. In this case, this is a very, very interesting case. This I have found out during my statutory branch audit. Normally, as an auditor, you have to verify the subsidy ledger folio. You need not, whenever any subsidy comes, you have to call for the subsidy sanction letter. Whenever there is any debit in subsidy, you have to analyze, you have to see that where is that credit goes, whether the credit goes to the customer's account or whether the credit goes to the staff account, because it is also another fraud prone area. So the subsidy debit should be analyzed by you because you are the auditor, because you are certifying the transaction of the branch. So you have to verify the debit of subsidy and where it goes. So this is the exercise I did in my audit. Then I found that this credit goes to various loaner in that year. So I went further. Why the subsidy is received during the year and immediately the subsidy is debited during the year. So I immediately go to the transaction. There I found that this subsidy is being adjusted to the loan account, and after the adjustment that loan account has been closed. So at this point I want to make a suggestion, or even I want to make a request to all our fellow chartered accountants, all our friends, that as an auditor you have to see the loans opened during the year and loan closed during the year. Normally we are seeing only the loans outstanding at the year end because we have been paid based on the loans outstanding in the balance sheet. But that is a different issue. But you are going to certify the entire year transaction. So as an auditor, you must verify or you must call for the records The loans opened during the year and closed during the year, you have to open. Even I want to further go ahead. Whatever loans closed during the year, you have to satisfy yourself whether that loan is being closed out of genuine reserve or not. I want to now narrate this case. This is a government sponsored scheme. Say it is TATCO loan. It is these loans have to be paid to the beneficiaries of TATCO, say scheduled cash and scheduled tribe. The TATCO beneficiaries, they have to apply to the TATCO, and the government, after scrutinizing the application, they are forwarding the application to the bank saying that these are the beneficiaries that we have scrutinized. We are ready to give subsidy to these persons if you sanction the loan. Normally, the bankers, on receipt of those orders, those recommended letters, they scrutinize the files, they sanction the loan. But to receive the subsidy, the bankers, they have to give the provisional sanction letter to the TATCO. Based on the provisional sanction letter, the TATCO has forwarded the subsidy to the bank. This is the first thing. So the TATCO customers have approached the bank because the TATCO department, they are giving the sanction letter, that is recommended sanction letter, to the beneficiaries, and they allotted the banks and branches. Which bank, which branch? Because the TATCO beneficiaries are spread over the various parts of that place. They have given the application. Then the TATCO has forwarded the applications recommendation to the concerned bank branches. Now the bank branch has received the application. Then on discussion, the bank manager, because they want to reach the target and they want to recommend, they have to sanction the loan to the TATCO beneficiaries who have been recommended by the TATCO. Yes. Now, what the branch head did, he said, he asked, because the loan is 1 lakh, the subsidy eligibility is 50,000, and that subsidy is a back-end subsidy. Back-end subsidy means that back subsidy has to be adjusted only at the time of closure of or the period mentioned in the sanction letter. If the period is 5 years, then only after 5 years that subsidy has to be adjusted to the loan amount. The subsidy amount is 50,000 because 50% is the subsidy amount. 1 lakh is the loan amount. So that means banks, they have to give 50,000 rupees, and TATCO, they are giving subsidy, 50,000 rupees subsidy, because to that extent of subsidy, no interest is to be charged. The branch manager, what he did, he asked the TATCO beneficiaries to open SB account and asked everyone to remit 52,000 rupees in that account. That is, this is called matching deposit, because to the extent of loan sanction, the customer has made the deposit. The customer has paid 52,000 rupees into the SB account. Then after 2 days, this manager has sanctioned the loan of rupees 1 lakh and handed over the DD to the TATCO beneficiaries. The DD is in the name of the persons who have given the quotation. So that means the benefit is not directly given to the TATCO benefit applicant's name. It has been given to the supplier name. This is the first stage. Then these customers, they have remitted 52,000 rupees. The loan is 1 lakh, subsidy is 50,000. This 2,000 rupees, why the manager has said excess? Because he felt that if there is any interest shortage, this can be recovered. This is the thing. Now, the loan of 1 lakh is being given. The beneficiaries of TATCO, they have received the DD and they have left the branch. After 2 months, they have not turned into the branch. They have not come to the branch for any transaction at all. Then, after 2 months, what this branch manager and branch officer, they did, they transferred the amount of 50,000 rupees. Meaning, you have to see that that is a back-end subsidy which has to be closed only after fifth year, only after 5 years. Okay, now this manager has transferred the subsidy amount of 50,000 rupees to the loan account of the borrower. Then he has transferred 51,000 rupees, that is 1,000 in the form of interest, 51,000 rupees from the SB account of the borrower to the loan account, and he closed the loan account. So I think you can understand. Subsidy amount 50,000 credited to the loan account. 51,000 is received, has been debited from the SB account and credited to the loan account. Then the loan account is closed. But as per the subsidy sanction letter, this subsidy has to be adjusted only after the fifth year. So this is nothing but, I argued with the branch manager that it is nothing but squaring of government funds, because the bank, that is branch manager, is a party to the agreement to square the government funds. He helped the customers to take the subsidy without any operation. But when I did this, when I asked this, then they said, see, sir, the entire thing is being done as per the instruction of the controlling authorities. When I did this, when I asked this, then he said like this. Then I contacted the controlling authorities. Then they said, no, sir, we are not instructed like that. In that manner, he said. Then the regional office team has come to the branch. Then after a lot of deliberations, then they said, sir, it is not a fraud. I said, it is a fraud because we are a party to the agreement to spare the subsidy. They said, no, it is not a fraud, sir. Then after heavy discussion, then I said, okay, I am going to give this type of transaction as fraud in LFAR, first thing. Because in LFAR point number 5, fraud detected during the year, you have to report. So then what I did next, because as per the subsidy norms, if the subsidy is adjusted within 3 years, then the customer is not eligible to get subsidy. If any back-end subsidy is adjusted between the third year and fourth year, only 50% is eligible. Then fourth year and fifth year, if any subsidy is adjusted, transferred to loan account, only 75% is eligible. And only after the fifth year, 100% is eligible. This is a normal subsidy rule. So what I did, since I want to report, I did the MOC for entire transaction, because the subsidy amount that has been squared by the branch is 55 lakhs. What I did, I have reversed the entire entry of almost 60 accounts. I have passed memorandum of changes entry and bring alive the loan account plus the subsidy account. So I bring everything. So now the balance sheet is correct. Then next step, what I did, I have reported this as fraud under the head attempted fraud or probable fraud. It is an attempted fraud, because in fraud there's a attempted fraud category is there, fraud category there. I have reported under attempted fraud, and also I have reported this to the bank's head office as well as to the Reserve Bank of India, because as per the appointment letter, whatever fraud you have detected or attempted fraud you have detected, you have to report both to the bank's head office, that is CEO of the bank, plus the Reserve Bank of India. But whenever you find the fraud, you go through the appointment letter and see that where to report the fraud. That is very, very much important. But before doing that, you have to ensure that it is a fraud or not, but you should have all evidence. So I have reported in long form audit report under fraud category and narrated everything. I have given the reversal in memorandum of changes, and I have reported this to the Reserve Bank of India. So my observation in this case is, as the loan is closed during the year, no record is available for verification at the year end. So whenever you are going for the audit, you have to see whether any loan is closed, any loan is opened and closed during the year. Next step is where whatever loan is closed, also you have to call for the verification, and you have to see that the credit to the closed loan account should be genuine or not. And here in this case, subsidy circular is being overlooked by the branch, and if the subsidy is being adjusted before year end, the same has to be returned to the sanction authority. This is the condition put in the sanction letter, and no one has supervised this subsidy adjustment in this case. And matching deposit technique is being adopted by the branch head, which is against the head office norms in sanction the loan. And whenever a huge SBI account is opened continuously on a particular day or 2 or 3, you have to go and see why these SB accounts have been closed or not. This is the thing you have to see in this case study. And the branch informed that this process has been done to achieve the government target. That is not our lookout, but even the all closed loans should be verified. And my experience in this, every chartered accountant who is going not only for statutory audit, even for the concurrent audit also, they have to verify the loan sanctioned during year and the loan closed during year, and they have also to verify the subsidy account debited in the year carefully. This is the case fraud case study, and I have classified and in LFA in RBI that this is an attempted fraud case, because the fraud is not there, because everything is there in the bank book. So it is a sparing of government funds, the branch has involved. So I have classified this advance under attempted fraud case. So with this, I am just open this case to you. You have to understand the modus operandi of this case. Whenever you are going for the audit, be careful that this may come to your audit area. And this is the thing I want to say in this video presentation, and wish you once again all the best. And I request you to watch this video from the beginning to the end. Thanks. Nandri. Vanakkam.